Hello everyone, welcome back to another Apocalyptic Destruction video. In this video I'm going to be showing 4 different boss solos from Chapter 2 of Act 7, or Book 2, Act 1, Chapter 2. The first boss is this Mole Man boss. Pretty straightforward. I don't remember all the nodes. I'll just quickly disclaim I don't remember many of the nodes for a majority of the fights that I'm about to show you, but I do know that I soloed them, so, I know that much. I know that what I do know for this fight is that there is a lingering unstoppable buff. It's like the node where, if you're close to the defender as the timer is about to refresh, they will get the unstoppable, but if you're far away when the timer is about to refresh, you will get the unstoppable. So this fight I think is pretty, as you can see I got hit. It's pretty easy though. I would say there's not too much to worry about, even if you're not using Apocalypse. It's like basically you just want to have him use his special 1 until he gets to about 6 to 8 of those monster masses, and then be very careful about this, but you want to trigger his frenzy phase so that he no longer shrugs off debuffs. Now, I don't know how you would do that, but once you do that, it's basically just a fairly straightforward fight. His special attacks don't have too much pushback, but one of the reasons why Apocalypse is just really great for this fight is just because he is able to completely bypass the debuff purification of Mole Man, which is just a passive ability that he has when he is below 8 monster masses, I think, or when he's not in frenzy phase. It might be that. So yeah, fairly straightforward fight with Apocalypse. And the next fight is against Tigra. Now this one is a little scarier, I think, just because she can really mess you up. She has pretty much almost always unblockable specials, because chances are when she uses a special, you're not going to be right up against her. You want to have some room. So there is a little bit more at stake, but with the node that I think gives increased heavy attack damage, this is just such an easy fight for so many champions. It's honestly it's just a piece of cake with most champions, I think. I've heard some people say that Doom worked really well. I would imagine so. But Apocalypse I just used for this fight, and it worked really well for me. Yeah, it's definitely a scary fight, to be sure. I got hit and it took quite a bit of damage. As she builds those prowesses, obviously it becomes even more terrifying. Yeah, so just baiting those specials and making sure you know how to dodge them is going to be key to surviving this fight and even soloing it. Again, most champions will be able to solo it, but it's always nice to have Apocalypse's massive health pool. So the next fight is going to be Hitmonkey. Hitmonkey is somewhat similar to Mole Man in my opinion as a defender, because you're going to have to deal with debuff purification with knockdown. So you ideally want a champion that can deal with that purification, or you're going to want a champion that can deal a lot of their damage without needing to knock down the opponent, meaning that you want someone who maybe has a lot of debuffs like Nick Fury. Thankfully though, for Apocalypse, he just completely shuts down the debuff purification of Hitmonkey. So it's a straightforward fight. I think he has, what is that life shield protection sort of thing. Just gotta knock him down a couple times, and then it extends the timer on that. Eventually, I'll just be able to take him down. But I don't think there was anything else that was too rough about this fight. It looks like he might be immune to shock. I think so. But yeah, just very easy fight with Apocalypse. I never really felt worried during this fight because I knew, okay, if I get clipped, at least I'll become immune to bleed really quickly. Hitmonkey, it doesn't really have the most health, even as like a boss. It's still a relatively low health pool. I said pool. I didn't say the other word, don't worry. But he's also, I don't think he has too much physical resistance either, or energy resistance. So yeah, as you can see, I'm building up my evade, what do you call it, the charges that reduce evadability accuracy on opponents. So as I build those, I just reduce his ability to evade, which is really helpful. This fight does feel a little bit longer than the other ones, but I don't really feel worried about it. I knew coming in that, okay, so it's basically just a long Hitmonkey fight. No biggie with Apocalypse. Ideally, maybe I'll just want to use a special 3 to secure all those debuffs on him. And then, yeah, if I really wanted to at this point, I could have just stayed back, let him die on his own. But, you know, I just felt confident that I could finish him off relatively quickly. Probably going to use a special 1. Yeah, special 1. He's melting down pretty nicely. One thing I do want to say really quickly is that I am looking to get perhaps a microphone. So hopefully, I don't know if the audio sounds alright to you guys, but I'm holding my iPad up to my mouth right now, looking at the screen from the side, so it is a little bit of an awkward situation, but I'm hoping to maybe upgrade my video recording equipment soon. Anyway, that fight, down, Hitmonkey out of my life. I imagine though, when I do explore that quest, I'm probably going to fight him again, just because he's the easier of the other fights. But anyway, this, I think, is probably going to be the coolest of the fights, just because I, myself, was pretty uncertain about whether I'd be able to do it with Apocalypse. I don't really know too much about Platinum Pool as a defender. I do know that with certain cards, he gets certain abilities. I think there's one that gives him unblockable basic attacks. Another one that gives him power gain. Thankfully, it looks like I didn't really get too many bad ones. But the big part about this fight is that he's got so much regeneration. You really need a champion that can deal with it. I was thinking of using Human Torch. I believe I brought him in as just a backup, just in case, because at the time this is just my initial completion of the path. I think it's in 7.2.5, maybe? Maybe it's 7.2.4. I could be wrong. But anyway, yeah. I slowed it back down now because this is kind of the part where things just start going well. You know, I start to chip him down special by special. Thanks to that concussion, that very hefty concussion, that I think reduces ability accuracy by 70% after the special 3, is just reducing his ability to regenerate by so much. It's just such a cool ability that Apocalypse has, honestly. It's why I think that he is probably one of, if not the best mutant. I know, as I say that, I sort of second guess myself because there are so many great mutants. But yeah, anyway, I do think that he is certainly one of the best support champions of the game, and by far one of the greatest solo champions, just by himself, you know? One thing that I am also excited about with regards to Apocalypse is that through completion of 7.2, I was able to get a rank 1 to 2 mutant gem. And so the significance of that is I should be able to rank to my 6-star cable very soon. I'm just going to need some ISO. You know, ISO is kind of short lately for me, but when I do get him to level 35, I'm just going to be probably doing a ton of cable content. I don't know which lanes would be best. I think I've heard that there are definitely some Caltrops lanes, but yeah, I am very excited to have some cable content as well. Another video that you guys might want to be on the lookout for is a damage comparison between Archangel and Cable. I was sort of considering waiting to do that video until I got Cable to rank 2, but I did a little test beforehand, and it looks like Cable actually might be able to beat Archangel even at rank 1. And the Archangel I'm talking about is a 565 Archangel, which is very impressive. Obviously, though, Cable would have to be synergized with Apocalypse. There goes Platinum Pool. But yeah, anyway, I'll wrap this up really quickly. Here's a little crystal opening. But what I was just gonna say is that Archangel, if he weren't paired with Apocalypse, I think could be beaten by synergized Cable. Otherwise, if both are synergized with Apocalypse, and specifically if both are made horsemen of Apocalypse, I do think that Archangel would win, but we'll just have to see. Anyway, I'm excited to make some more content this summer. It's my summer break right now, and I hope you all are enjoying the nice weather. If you live in the Midwest, I know it's quite sunny and it's getting warm. There is snow all over the place not too long ago. But yeah, anyway, I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.